All right, hello everyone. This is me again trying to show you how to measure men. So this is my friend, Mr. Tosa. All right. So we're going to start with the circumference of the head. So sometimes you need to have a hat. So doing that, you go all around. Make sure you start from the forehead and you go all around the head and you take the measurement for the head. And the next thing you want to measure is the neck. Go around the circumference, make sure there's room in there. You don't want it to be too tight. So make sure that the tape measure can go all around and there's some room there. So you take your measurement, you put it out. And now, the next thing you want to do is to try to measure the top. And let's do the shoulders. So to measure the shoulder, you want to start from the high point here. You can feel the bone here. Measure the high point and don't go across like this. You want to go on top. So start from here and go on top like this and get to the shoulder. So you get to the shoulder and from here to here. So that is the shoulder right there. You take the measurement and that's good. And now the next thing we want to do is to get the sleeves. So where your shoulder stops, that's where you're going to start the sleeves. So depending on what kind of sleeve you want, if it's a short sleeve, so this might be the length. You might want to ask the person, how do you want the length? So if you want it this way, this could be it. And if you want like a 3/4, you can start from here, you take it all the way to like 3/4. That is another length. But if you want your long sleeves is a little interesting here. So you get it to the middle, to the elbow, and you tell the person to bend the elbow a little bit, and you can, from there, you take it to the wrist, and that will cover your the long sleeves for your shirt. You want to start from where the shoulder ends, and you start from right there. And so from here, you can go right here, and depending on how long you want the sleeves to be. So if you want it to, like if you're doing short sleeves, so that could be right here, and this would be your short sleeves. And sometimes you might want to have a quarter length, a 3/4 length, and that could be right here. So that's your 3/4 length. But if you want a long sleeves, you want the person to fold their arm a little bit and go from right here to the wrist. So that would be your long sleeves. All right, so we've done the sleeves. Then we need to do the bicep. The bicep right here, we get around the upper arm. And depending on how tight you want the clothes to be, and one thing again, you want the person to fold their arm, so that way you can get the whole thing. So right here, make sure it's loose and it's good enough, and you take that. And also on your lower arm, this place right here, you want to take the length as well. So you take that, make sure there's movement around, that you can move it all around. And also you want to take your wrist. So depending on the kind of outfit you want, you get the length of the wrist, and you measure that accordingly. All right, so now we want to do the chest. For the chest, you go across, tell the person to spread your arms like that, across the chest. So the chest, you definitely, based on the kind of outfit, you don't want this to be too tight. If it's too tight, they will not be able to get into the outfit. So you make sure it's straight and there is some room in there. And the next place you want to measure is the belly button, or called the navel. And right here is the same thing. Make sure that there's some room in there and take a measurement. And now the next thing is your hips. So if you have like a long outfit, you can get your arms down. That's good, thank you. So your hips, that goes around your butt. And right here, so make sure that there is some room there to get your hips. So that captures the top. Now the next thing you want to do, actually one more thing on the top. You want to find the length of the top. So from right here on the shoulder, so depending on how long you want it, so if you want like say a short shirt, right here might be good. But if you want the shirt to be long, there are some shirts that are really long, you might go all the way, maybe like right here or right here, depending on how long you want the shirt to be. So now let's go to the pants. For the pants, you want to get a waist. So normally your waist should be the smallest part of your trunk, or whatever you want to call that. torso. So you get this and make sure that it's not too tight so the person will be able to wear the pants. So right there you get the waist. And the next thing you want to do is to get the length of the pants. So right here from the waist. So let's turn around. So right here from the waist all the way down. Again, this depends on how long you want the pants to be. A lot of people want their pants like ankle length, or some people want it a little high here, or if you want it like all the way down here. This depends on the kind of pants you're trying to make. So make the length of the pants, and that'll be good. And now the next thing is your thigh. So we get right here. So I know a lot of people have like tight pants right now. So, but make sure it's not too tight. So that way the person can get into the pants. So right here is the length of the thigh. And now you want to do your calf. So get your calf. Get the length of the calf and measure that. That's good. And also the ankle. So this depends on the kind of pants. So some pants you want them to be a little loose, or you want them to be like baggy, but depending on what you want, so get the length of the ankle. All right, so this one is almost optional. So let's face the camera. It's called the inseam. The inseam starts from the middle of it, like the thigh right here, all the way down. So you give the tape to the person to put it in there, like in the middle in there, and we take it all the way down. So that is the inseam for that person. So that is how you take a measurement for a man. Thank you.